Jesus before Herod. Pilate asked whether the man was a Galilean, and when he learned that he was under Herod's jurisdiction, he sent him off to Herod, who was himself in Jerusalem at that time. When Herod saw Jesus, he was very glad, for he had been wanting to see him for a long time, because he had heard about him and was hoping to see him perform some sign. He questioned him at some length, but Jesus gave him no answer. The chief priests and the scribes stood by, vehemently accusing him. Even Herod, with his soldiers, treated him with contempt and mocked him. Then he put an elegant robe on him and sent him back to Pilate. That same day, Herod and Pilate became friends with each other. Before this, they had been enemies. I am the elegant robe that Herod placed around Jesus' shoulders. Do not think that this was an act of kindness against the cool of the night. Ha! There was no kindness to be found. My purpose was to mock. I am just one vestment of Herod's vast wealth of goods, worth more than most of the poor of the city would make in a year, maybe a lifetime. But to Herod, expendable for the sake of a cheap joke. It's funny that in the half-light, people couldn't agree what colour I was. Some said purple, and others red, and others simply marked my resplendent glow as if a colour were too banal a description. Purple robes are for royalty. It's the most expensive dye to produce. The dye is a mucus secretion from a gland of a sea snail. 12,000 snails only yield enough pure dye to colour the trim of a single garment. It's what the kings of Midian wore, and the colour of Daniel's royal robe. Some called this man a king, but it looked to me like his loyal subjects were in short supply, and even he couldn't point to his kingdom on a map. Red robes are worn by those who tread the winepress, or at least their robes are red by the time they finish the job, whatever colour they might have been when they began. By the end of the night, Jesus would be clothed in scarlet, with or without me. The beating and the scourging would see to that. In the dim, I don't know how anyone thought me resplendent. Certainly, in the full glare of the sun, the golden thread woven into me can be too bright to look upon comfortably. But there was no bright light that night. I don't know how anyone could have mistaken me for shining or glittering in that courtyard. But there are some who, if you ask them, would swear that when I was placed on Jesus' shoulders, I gleamed with a dazzling white light, too splendid for the gaze of any human eye to hold.